Hi dear students, this is Josephine Lavanya, your English teacher. Today I am going to take a lesson, The Best Christmas Present in the World. It is written by Michael Morpurgo. Before moving into the lesson, I want to ask few questions. Do you like war? No, right? Do you like gifts? Yes. When do we receive gifts? During our birthday or some other special occasion, we usually receive gifts, right? Here, one of the main character, Connie, she received a gift during the Christmas time. So, that was the special gift for her. Let's introduce all main characters in this lesson. First one, Jim Macpherson. He is a captain of his regiment during First World War. Second one, Connie, wife of Jim Macpherson. Third one, Arthur, our Michael Morpurgo. He is narrating a story for us. Let's move into the first paragraph. Please open your book, page number 9. I spotted it in a junk shop in Bridgeport, a roll-top desk. The man said it was 19th century and woke. I had wanted one, but they were far too expensive. The writer, he went to the junk shop that was in Bridgeport. He found roll-top desk there. The shop owner told him that it was from 19th century and it was made up of oak. Writer, he wanted to buy it for a long time ago. At the time he checked the prices of roll-top desk. They were far expensive, so he didn't buy. This time he found a roll-top desk in the junk shop. Let's see the next line. This one was in a bad condition, the roll-top in several pieces. One leg clumsily mended, scratch mark all down one side. It was going for very little money. Now the writer, he started explaining about the roll-top desk which he found in the junk shop. It was in bad condition and the top, it broken into several pieces. Looking at the side of the leg, it was badly mended and you could find so much of burn mark over the roll-top desk. It would go for some cheap amount only. Line. I thought I could restore it. It would be a risk, a challenge, but I had to have it. I paid the man and brought it back to my workroom at the back of the garage. I began work on it on Christmas Eve. The narrator, he wanted to have it. He had a thought of he could repair the roll-top desk, the bad condition roll-top desk. So he bought it. He gave the money to the shop owner. He bought it and he took it to his home. In his workroom, he kept there. The Christmas Eve, he started working on it. Let's move to the next paragraph. I removed the roll top completely and pulled out the drawers. The veneer had lifted almost everywhere. It looked like water damage to me. Both fire and water had clearly taken their role on this desk. First of all, the writer, which means the narrator, he started removing the upper part, top part of the roll-top desk. Then he started taking all the drawers from the roll-top desk. The veneer, which means the decorative item, which was made up of plastics, otherwise the cheap wood, it started coming out. At the particular time, he found that not only the desk, it was affected by fire, it was also affected by water. The last drawer was stuck fast. I tried all I could to ease it out gently. In the end, I used brute force. I struck it sharply with the side of my fist and the drawer flew open to reveal a shallow space underneath, a secret drawer. Here the writer, he was taking all the drawer out. When he was pulled the last drawer out, it got stuck. First of all, he was using his gentle force to get the drawer out, but he couldn't. After that, he used his full force to get the drawer out. When he tried, it flew. It came out forcefully. Inside, he could find a lot of space, and there was a secret box. There was something in there. I reached in and took out a small black tin box. Sellotaped to the top of it was a piece of lined note paper, and written on it in a shaky handwriting, Jim's last letter, received January 25th, 1915. To be buried with me when the time comes. The last drawer writer, he could find some secret black colored tin. The tin, it was covered with a sellotape. There he found a note paper. On the note paper, something was written. Let's we see what was written. Jim's last letter. Okay, these are the words. It was written on the paper. Jim's last letter, received January 25th, 1915. To be buried with me when the times comes. Actually, the date, particular date when the letter it was received, on the date they gave clearly. After that, when the times come, it should be buried with me. We move to the next line. I knew as I did it that it was wrong of me to open the box, but curiosity got the better of my scruples. It usually does. Here the narrator, he is telling us he wanted to open the box. He knew that it was a wrong one. Opening others' box, it was a wrong one. He knew it very well, though his curiosity made him to open the box. Let's we see the next line. Inside the box there was an envelope. The address read, Mrs. G. Macpherson, 12 Copper Beeches, Bridport, Dorset. I took out the letter and unfolded it. It was written in pencil and dated at the top, December 26, 1914. So here the writer, he took the box and he took the letter. There he could find the envelope. On the envelope there was an address. In the address, what was written? Let's we see. It written to Mrs. Jim Macpherson. Who was Mrs. Jim Macpherson? Mrs. Coney. Okay, Mrs. Coney. Coney, she is a wife of Jim Macpherson, right? So the letter, it written to Coney by Jim Macpherson. You just keep in your mind. After that, the writer, he was explaining that the whole letter written with the help of pencil, at the top of the letter there was a date. What was the date? 26th December 1914. Jim Macpherson wrote a letter to Coney. Okay, very next day of the Christmas. We know when are we celebrating Christmas, right? 25th December. So very next day, Jim Macpherson, he wrote a letter to Coney. We know when did the First World War happen, right? It happened in the year 1914. The fight between British and German, right? Let's move to the second part of this lesson. This is a letter of Jim Macpherson to his wife Coney. Dearest Coney, I wrote to you in a much happier frame of mind because something wonderful has just happened that I must tell you about at once. We were all standing in our stretchers yesterday morning, Christmas morning. It was crisp and quiet all about, as beautiful a morning as I have ever seen, as cold and frosty as a Christmas morning should be. The British army, they were standing in their trenches. At the time, he just described what was the morning. It was filled with cold freshness. It was a beautiful morning that he had ever experienced in his life. And he was telling that was a fresh morning, that should be a Christmas morning. Let's see the next paragraph. I should like to be able to tell you that we began it, but the truth I am ashamed to say is that Fritz began it. First, someone saw a white flag waving from the trenches opposite. Then they were calling out to us from across no man's land. Happy Christmas, Tommy, Happy Christmas. When we had got over the surprise, some of us shouted back, Same to you, Fritz, same to you. In the second paragraph, Jim, he wanted to convey the information to his wife that, Connie, I wanted to tell you that I began the incident, but the German soldiers began the incident. Let's see what was the incident. One of the German soldier, he waved the white flag and he wished Happy Christmas to the British Army. So this British Army, they got surprised, and the man from German Army, again he was telling to the British Army that come to the no man's land. What was no man's land? No man's land was the common land for British and German Army. British soldiers also started wishing back, so everyone started exchanging the wishes between them.